So thank you very much for letting me interview Dayabhadra.
You're welcome.
I'm very glad that you're here.
Well, first thing that comes to mind is people. People matter most. That's really good. It's got to be the bottom line, as it were. The welfare of people. Whether it's people I know, my own friends, people I don't know, people throughout the world, and I suppose all of life. But also in my life, I suppose my friends. Friendships made such a difference to my life, and I can't imagine a life without friendship. Such a major thing in life. Other people are your life, aren't they? You can't think much of a life without other people. I think I'm going to have to say blue. Blue or Vakshobhya. It's the Buddha of which I meditate on. Well, a couple of things bring to mind music and singing. So singing definitely makes me come alive. And teaching. Teaching can bring me alive as well. Teaching the Dharma, teaching Buddhism. I can feel really connected. I think it's connection to something that matters for me. The first film that came to mind, a film called Cat Ballou, and it stars Jane Fonda and Lee Marvin and Nat King Cole's in it.
Oh, right.
And it's brilliant because it's it's kind of a comedy western. It's got everything I think the film has. It's pure entertainment. Lord of the Rings, brilliant. Things like Happy Go Lucky, the Mike Leigh film, which I really enjoyed. Actually, the one film I've watched back to back that was Spartacus. It's just like so rich, so well done, very dramatic. Yeah. I hope so. But not God. In Buddhism, you've got higher forces of wisdom and compassion, energy that are there in the universe for us to tap into, to open up to, and that all of us can open up to them and allow them to transform us. But it's not something you can fix. It's not. It's more a current. It's more a force or energy rather than, fixed into this idea of God. I have been conditioned by everything in my life, from where I grew up, my parents, my family, my education, all the people I've known. I guess people are probably again the biggest influence in my life. Their views and their care, etc., have had an effect on making me who I am. Well, pretty much anything by Mozart, but particularly maybe Don Giovanni. I think it's got light and dark in it. Beethoven, maybe Symphony 6 or 9, and then Wagner, and seeing Parsifal for the first time. Some of the most beautiful, sublime music. Non-classical, Indigo Girls, heartfelt, connected. Peter Gabriel. Some of the stuff he comes out with, you do feel that he's got some insight into life. Christy Moore, Irish singer, folk singer. Nina Simone. And often these, at times have been sort of certain times in my life, as it were, when the music's really spoken to me. I enjoy reading. I've always got a book on the go, or more than one book on the go. I enjoy exercise, sing in a choir. Again, I want to find a way of bringing more singing into my life at the moment. One of the main ones is Paul Robeson, and just his phenomenal life, incredible voice, incredible. No one quite like him. Very deep. Old Man River is the song that he's most well known for. But also he was an actor, and he played Othello. But also on top of that, he was an activist. He got into trouble, particularly after the war, with McCarthyism. He always stuck up for what he believed, and he was a very, very courageous man. Very moving, because he's this big, handsome, intelligent, beautiful man who's really passionate. I mean, he could have just had an easy life, being an entertainer, and then, but you know, he put himself in danger, really, and made it hard for himself. You know, the precursor really of the civil rights movement, and he's largely been forgotten about. Probably my main hero. In some ways, singing, not always the notes, but apart from the notes, somehow the act of singing I can find kind of very natural or something. It's almost I can trust my voice or something to do that. In fact, some ways I much prefer singing than talking. I quite like chocolate pudding. Also, like Mexican food, I really like as well. I like putting it all together and rolling it up. Refried beans and guacamole, and that's good as well. Curry, yeah, curry is a big favourite. At times, you know, giving talks, maybe confidence in that I can do it, that I can, you know, keep others' interest and go through with it. Yeah, sort of tendency to doubt myself in certain situations like that. It's interesting, I think, notice tendency to not do the things that I don't feel confident about. So yeah, something around confidence around that, because it's interesting thing, confidence, because it doesn't, almost like it doesn't exist. It doesn't, when you've got it, it's not, nothing's a problem. But when you don't have it, all the other the stories that you tell yourself. First thing that jumps to mind is the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. John Wyndham, particularly The Day of the Triffids. I read it for the second time last year, actually. Oh, something that really had an effect on me was Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit. I guess one of the things is ordination. Maybe not quite proudest of, but important. Drawing a lot of strings together and making more sense of my life or more direction in my life. Well, pleased I've just pursued that in a way. You know, years ago I decided to come to the Buddhist Centre, and I have pursued that, and I've taken it step by step. So I'm proud of myself for doing that, because in other circumstances I think I'd have just settled for an easy life. I get an individual thing when I performed in the Triumph of Life, which was a Buddhist opera back in 2002. In some ways, I remember at the time thinking this was the hardest thing I'd ever done, and because it required singing, quite a difficult score, modern score, a bit of acting, and remembering where everything was on stage, remembering my lines, and it was quite a short time scale. It required me to draw lots of different sides of me in to do it, so I was very proud of doing that. I hope for, you know, many years of a healthy body, really, so I can go swimming, go running, go dancing, whatever, you know, and do physical things. I mean, in a way, continuing the same vein, you know, so going deeper with my Buddhist practice and making progress there, and also not only sort of internally, but also making a difference to the world, you know, in a way to hopefully just keep on going with that trajectory. The next 10 favourite pieces of music. I don't think there is. Well, thank you very much, Tim, for doing this. It's just a very imaginative thing to do, and a lovely thing to do, to invite friends and to record them. So it's, you know, it's very much your qualities are coming through, you know, your generosity and your time, your interest. So thank you very much. Let's leave it there, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I was actually trying to sneak it, because I like little bits at the beginning. When
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to.
I haven't started recording yet.
No, I know.
Actually,
I know. I'm not going to do a silly voice.
Was part of the reason why you were able to choose that? Was blue part of that? Had you already had a strong connection with blue?
No. I've always been fascinated by blue. Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Ever since I can remember. Blue, deep blue, pale blue.
Mauve.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Aquamarine. Blue the sea, blue the sky. Anyway, yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. What's your second favourite colour?
Yeah, it's right. Yes, cut to 3 hours. What's your 8th favourite?
Could you talk about a colour that you don't like?
What would you say are some of your defining characteristics?
Incredible wit. Fantastic intelligence. Yeah. God, it's different. Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
God, I just can't think. Sort of like get to the end of it. God, yeah.
Modesty, someone.
Modesty, yeah. Not modesty.
87th on the list.
That's right. I think it's really, really good. Crash. The next thing is you somersaulting out the window. What happened then? No, Tim jumped out of the window when I said I was going to go through my 8 favourite pieces. Right.